Humans have finally realized their mistakes and put efforts to make Earth more green. They have achieved perfection, and almost all diseases have disappeared. But one young man gets bored of his peaceful life and decides to go on a dangerous space mission. After years of hard work and dedication, humans have finally solved all the climate problems and developed technologies to cope with any disease. Crops are harvested in perfection, so there's enough food for all living beings. Governments have made peace, so no one has to worry about crimes or terrorism. Earth has become an ideal place to live, but the new generation find it boring. They also want to have problems to solve, so a space organization has started a program in which youngsters are sent to explore other planets. This is a new hobby, and one of the people who loves it is a young boy named Maxime. He is quite a reckless guy and chooses space exploration just for fun. While he is in the spaceship, he receives a call from his caring grandma who wants to know when he is going to come back home. She has no idea that Maxime is gliding in space. He has spent several years in study, and when the final exams are right around, Maxime is wasting his time. The grandma advises him to return as soon as possible and must call his dad, as he is also worried about Maxime's studies. Maxime understands his family's concern and dials his dad's number. Before he can reach him, the call drops because a bunch of meteors have hit the spaceship. Maxime panics and tries his best to handle the ship, but he fails miserably. The spaceship completely shuts down and crashes on a weird planet. As he gains back his senses, Maxime grabs the necessary things and steps out of his spaceship. He gets delighted to know that the planet has a stable atmosphere and oxygen to breathe. Even the gravity is almost the same as Earth. As the spaceship is completely destroyed, Maxime must find another way to travel back home. He starts exploring and finds several plants that look familiar. Suddenly, Maxime catches someone staring at him from far. It seems like a creepy beast that wants to eat Maxime. Luckily, a man reaches there and scares away the beast. Maxime gets excited to find another human and tries to be friendly, but the man belongs to the military who orders Maxime to throw away all his weapons. Afterward, he is taken to the military headquarters. Maxime meets several other soldiers and also their leader, who doesn't find Maxime trustworthy. He decides to do a proper investigation and sends him to the capital city. A soldier named Guy Gall is given the task to accompany Maxime. They ride an old carriage, and Maxime assumes that this planet hasn't developed as much as the Earth. He peeks out with curiosity and notices huge towers with heavy security. He wants to know more about them. Guy Gall believes that Maxime is dumb guy, so he takes out a diary to explain the tower with a diagram. The towers are built to defend the area from enemies. While he is explaining it, the tower blasts all of a sudden. The enemies have attacked. Everyone runs to save their lives. Maxime can escape too, but he gets worried for Guy, who is a weird attack because of a mysterious sound. The people nearby call this a medical condition called degeneration. Surprisingly, Guy recovers by himself after a while and continues the journey. They reach the capital, which is unexpectedly a modern town with high-tech cars and sky-touching buildings. Maxime is taken to a weird doctor who runs several unnecessary tests on the innocent Guy. The news of Maxime's arrival spreads around, and Nomad, a high-ranked government officer, wants to meet Maxime. A man named Funk arrives to take Maxime to his master Nomad. They are traveling in a car, but the traffic gets in their way. Suddenly, degeneration happens again, and it affects Funk. He totally loses himself, so a group of agents rush there to help him, while the public keeps calling Funk a degenerate, which seems like a notorious condition. Maxime is fed up with being carried around, so he takes this chance to escape. Once Funk gets better, he informs his master about the disappearance of Maxime, but Nomad is really disappointed. He gives just 2 days to bring Maxime, otherwise, Funk has to deal with unfavorable circumstances. After announcing his decision, Nomad proceeds to attend a secret meeting with a mysterious team called the Unknown Fathers. They seem to be really strict and ask each member to explain their current activities. Nomad succeeds in satisfying the fathers, but the health officer gets accused of revealing a big secret. His mistake can't be forgiven, so the Unknown Fathers kill the officer on the spot. This is what they do if anyone tries to rebel against them. Meanwhile, Maxime is wandering around in local markets and realizes that despite the modern structure, the public in the capital is living a really hard life. They barely have enough food to eat and must do tough jobs to take care of their families. The Unknown Fathers and government officers keep all the luxuries just for themselves. Maxime also spots a few restaurants, but what catches his eye is the gorgeous woman working there. Her name is Rada, and she seems like a hardworking young lady. Unfortunately, she has to deal to disrespectful customers who try to abuse her. Maxim stands up against the abuser and gives him a warning. When the abuser doesn't listen, Maxim knocks him down, and he impresses Rada with his unmatchable strength. Rada gets comfortable with her and sits down to talk. Maxim is surprised to hear that she is actually Gal's sister. After knowing that Maxim has come from a different planet, Rada invites him to her place. Guy also returns home, but he didn't expect to see Maxim there. But he still remembers that Maxim helped him when the degeneration hit. In exchange for that favor, Guy let him stay in his house for a few days. Nomad is still after Maxim, but Funk tells him that Maxim must have died. Otherwise, he would have been caught by the police already, as he has no identity card. Little do they know, Maxim is peacefully living at Guy's place. Usually after dinner, the siblings like watching television. Their favorite program is the video collection of mental patients. Maxim feels uncomfortable to watch and prefers to read books instead. He misses Earth and can't sleep peacefully. He wakes up in the middle of night and wanders on the roof. Rada spots him and gives him company. The people of this planet have no knowledge of space exploration, so they don't believe that Maxim is from another planet. He wants at least Rada to believe him, so he explains to her that their planet is just a surface from which they can fly off to other places. Maxim wants to return home and wonders if his family is still waiting for him or not. They may have already accepted his death. Rada comforts him and advises him not to give up. She shares her own life story to motivate Maxim. Her father used to serve as a doctor in a virus outbreak. He was such a selfless man who worked hard to treat his patients, but the government didn't care. To stop the virus, they dropped bombs on the whole contaminated area, along with the patients and doctors. Rada also felt like she would not be able to continue living, but she did. And now she has met a wonderful man like Maxim. Actually, she wants Maxim to understand that it's never too late to take a new start. Maxim agrees and decides to learn more about this planet. From the next day, Guy starts teaching Maxim more about the current circumstances and the challenges the public deal with every day. Being a soldier, Guy served in several places, including the south borders where the mutated humans live. They are just like deadly beasts, and currently no one knows how these humans turned like that. The town is full of secrets, and the public don't dare to look for the truth. They are ruled by the cruel unknown fathers who claim to keep the town protected by building towers. But there's a small group of people who stand against the fathers. They usually stay hidden and only come forward to destroy the towers. They are commonly referred to as the degenerates. Guy was really angry at the government, so he joined the military to take matters into his own hands. He wanted to be strong enough to protect his family and friends. Guy believes that Maxim will also be suitable for this job, though he has no documents, but as Guy insists, his leader selects Maxim, but he has to clear all the training to officially become a part of the military. After advancing so much in technology, the humans have modified their natural strength as well. Their senses have gotten really strong. That's why Maxim has super strength and so much talent. He passes all the training sessions and impresses all of the officers. However, Guy is worried about Maxim becoming a lab rat, so he advises his friend not to show off his abilities too much. A few days pass and Maxim has already learned so much about the weird planet. Now he remembers all the history on his fingertips. There used to be a big nation who peacefully lived on this planet, but things suddenly took the wrong turn. The nation was divided into two lands, who developed deep hatred towards each other. This information overwhelms Maxim, and he needs a little break. He goes for a walk with Rada, and she takes him to her favorite place. The romantic feelings between them grow stronger and seal their relationship with a sweet kiss. Maxim has chosen to forget about Earth and start a new life here. A few days later, the army attacked a building to capture the degenerates living there. Maxim assumed that the degenerates must be some dangerous creatures who fight humans, but they turn out to be innocent human beings with families and friends. The soldiers shoot some of the degenerates, while the remaining ones are tortured to accept their defeat. Maxim is quietly observing this all, and he has realized that the military is not a fair organization. Maxim wants to leave as soon as possible. The leader notices Maxim's suspicious behavior and decides to test him. He is taken to the forest and ordered to kill 2 innocent captives. Maxim lets the captives escape, and he also gives up his job. The leader gets enraged and shoots Maxim several times. Meanwhile, the unknown fathers are looking forward to their own benefit. As the 2 nations are already fighting, the fathers plan to take over the weaker nation. They also keep Killjoy the degenerates, so there's no opposition from there. However, they have a new enemy now. Maxim has a miraculously strong body, and he has survived all the bullet shots. He is rescued by a bunch of degenerates who explain their actions. The poor gang has no intention of harming others. They just want to destroy the towers because the radiations emitting from them cause a severe pain in degenerates. Some of the government officers are also degenerates, but they have given up against the unknown fathers. A degeneration occurs again, and the poor gang suffers in pain. Maxime has healing power, which he uses to decrease the pain in degenerates. The gang gets fond of him and include him in their mission. They sneak into the town to destroy the towers, and Maxime helps them fully. They succeed in damaging a tower, but 2 of the gang members sacrifice their lives. After the unfortunate incident, Maxime decides to get more help and meets Guy and Rada. He tells them the whole truth, but Guy believes it's not possible to destroy all the towers as they are just too many. If Maxime really wants to start a better life, he should just run away to a distant land with Rada. Before Maxime can decide, the police arrive at the door. Maxime wants to run away, but the police aim at Rada to make Maxime give up. The poor guy lets himself get arrested, but he keeps spreading the reality of degenerates even in the prison. Nomad wants to research Maxime, but the fathers believe he is too dangerous, so they order to kill him. They do it in a special way. Instead of killing them normally, Maxime and 2 other prisoners are thrown in the middle of a forest full of beasts and weapons. Maxime makes a team with the other prisoners and destroys all the weapons. A beast attacks them too, but Maxime uses his super strength to save his fellows. Seeing his kindness, one of the prisoners reveals another harsh truth. The unknown fathers are brainwashing people. The towers emit special radiation which gets inside people's nervous systems. This causes the people to believe anything the fathers say. Only the degenerates don't get affected, and the unknown fathers want to kill them to keep their dirty secret hidden. Suddenly, a few military tanks pass by. Maxime takes one of the tanks and heads towards a new mission. He wants to help the public, but it's not going to be easy. On his way, Maxime also finds Guy. He gets really excited and pulls his friend inside. They will be together on this mission, and there's no turning back. This is not the end, but the start of a new adventure. Maxime must choose whether he wants to return home or get control over this strange planet to lead a new life.